This is the first possibility of ourself, and it is the possibility that is realized by most of us. When I say most of us, I don't mean most of us in this room, I mean most of the 7 billion of us. In this first possibility, we believe that awareness is a property that our body-mind has. We will think and feel, my body-mind is aware. We will think and feel that awareness is something that comes and goes in my body-mind. For instance, we will believe that when we fall asleep, awareness disappears, but I, the body-mind, remains. Because of this identification of ourself as a body and a mind, we will feel that whatever happens to the body and the mind happens to us. As the body gets older, I get older. The body gets sick, I get sick. A feeling of unhappiness appears, I am unhappy. In other words, whatever changes the body and mind undergo, we will feel that I undergo those changes. The second possibility is to understand that what we essentially are is not a mixture of the body and the mind, but is rather the open, empty space of awareness. Awareness is not really a space, but it is space-like. So we could, if we want to imagine awareness, we could imagine it as a vast, borderless, knowing space. Open, empty, luminous. Open in the sense that it is wide open, without choice or preference to every appearance of the body, mind and world. Just like empty space doesn't choose or prefer any particular object that appears within it, so this open space of awareness just allows all thoughts, feelings, sensations and perceptions to appear as they are, without choice or preference. Awareness is empty in the sense, again, like space, there is nothing in it apart from itself. It's not made of any kind of object. It's not made of a thought, a feeling, a sensation, or a perception. It's just made of empty knowing, or empty knowing being. Aware being. And awareness is said to be luminous, in the sense that it illuminates or renders knowable all experience. When we walk outside on a day like today, relatively speaking, all the objects we see are rendered visible by the light of the sun. We can't see the sun, but it is the sun's light, relatively speaking, that renders all objects visible. In exactly the same way, we cannot see awareness, but it is the light of awareness, the knowing light of awareness, that renders all experience knowable. So this is the second possibility for ourself, to be this open, empty, luminous, space-like presence of awareness. In this second possibility, thoughts, feelings, ideas, sensations are not what I am. They are what I know. Nobody thought, as that car went by just then, nobody thought, I am the sound of the car. Why not? Because the sound of the car just appeared, flowed by, and disappeared, and left me, this open, empty presence of awareness, completely untouched, unharmed, unstained. The sound just flowed through us and vanished, and I, this open, empty, luminous space of awareness just remains as it always is. It's exactly the same with a thought. A thought just flows by in exactly the same way as the sound of the car. It flows through the same empty space of ourself. That thought is no more or less myself than the sound of the car or the sound of voices. The belief that I am the thought, but I am not the sound of the car, belongs to the first possibility, in which we consider ourselves to be a fragment, a body-mind. In this second possibility, we are this wide-open, borderless space of aware being, in which thoughts, feelings, sensations, sounds, tastes, sights, etc. appear, and with which these are known. I know my thoughts, but I am not a thought. I know the sound of voices, or I experience the sound of voices, but I am not a sound. I know my feelings, but I am not made out of a feeling. I am this open, empty, borderless, space-like presence of awareness, which cannot be disturbed, just like the empty space of this room cannot be disturbed. Nothing that took place in this room could disturb the empty space of this room. Our essential nature of pure awareness is just like that. Because it is empty, there is nothing in it that could be disturbed. No thought, no feeling, no appearance, no activity. Nothing can disturb it. Hence, its nature, that is, your nature, our essential nature, is peace itself, undisturbable peace, under all circumstances and conditions. We don't have to make this happen. We don't have to meditate for 20 years in order to make ourselves peaceful. We are always, inherently peaceful. We may not notice this inherent peace. We may feel so identified with a cluster of thoughts and feelings called the body-mind that we don't notice this inherent peace. But whether we notice it or not, or rather whether it is acknowledged or not, we are always this open, empty, undisturbable presence of awareness. And the third possibility is not to know oneself as the open, empty space of awareness in which the appearances of the mind, body and world appear, but to know oneself as the knowing with which all experience is known. So go first to your thoughts. Just allow whatever thoughts are appearing and see that all there is to those thoughts is the process of thinking. And now see that all there is to thinking is the knowing of it. If we were to reach out an imaginary hand and try to touch the stuff that thinking is made of, thinking must be made of something. If we try to touch that something, what do we find? Just transparent knowing. All there is to the experience of thinking is knowing, and you are that knowing. In other words, thinking, what we normally consider to be mind, is itself made out of pure awareness, pure knowing. There is really no such thing as mind with its own independently existing identity. Mind is, we could say, a modulation of awareness or pure knowing. Now go to your experience of the body. Now, a body is experienced mostly as sensation. So go to the current sensation called my body, the tingling, amorphous, vibrating sensation of your face, your chest, your hands, your feet. And see that all there is to this sensation is the experience of sensing. And reach out again an imaginary hand and try to touch the stuff that sensing is made of. It must be made of something. What do you find there? What is the substance out of which the experience of sensing is made? Don't go into thought. Don't refer to the past. Imagine that you are a newborn baby. This is the first experience you have ever had. You have no past with which to compare the current experience. What is the substance out of which sensing is made? Is there anything there other than the knowing of it? This knowing is not made out of stuff called matter or mind. It is made of pure, luminous, empty awareness.